Currently, we're walking down 29 Palms Highway here in Yucca Valley. We're going to be walking up to a tattoo studio where YouTube Savage Studios used to work at, and that is the same location where he was shot and killed on August 19th of 2022. If you guys don't know who Savage Studios was, let me quickly tell you a little bit about his YouTube channel. So I first heard of Savage Studios because he was one of quite a few prison YouTubers, which is or it was, at least anyways, a couple of years back, a pretty hot genre. So Savage Studios' real name is Steven Segala. He had done quite a bit of time in prison. I think he said on one of his videos he did about 12 years in prison. And he gets out of prison, and like a lot of YouTubers out there who are starting into this sector of YouTube, want to make a couple bucks telling your war stories, telling your prison stories, all the fights you've been into, what led you into going to prison, so forth and so on. And I like this channel just because he was a pretty damn good storyteller, quite a controversial figure to say the least. Not to get into the whole gang politics side of things, because then this video would be way too long. But basically, Savage Studios was from a prison gang called the 2-5ers. And I'm not going to get into all of the history of all of that or whatever. But Savage Studios had quite a few enemies out here on the streets of Southern California. I mean, can you imagine 25,000 gangbangers that want to beat you up at least bare minimum, and sometimes they want to do even worse? And that's exactly what they did, unfortunately, on this day. So Savage Studios was at work, and he was having some kind of online beef with this guy right here. His name is Manuel Robledo, I believe 33 years of age. And Manuel was from a gang called Pico Viejos. I never heard of them, but I definitely have heard of them now, probably more along the lines of a smaller gang. So reportedly, Manuel, who lived in Riverside, was beefing with Savage Studios about gang politics, gang stuff, this and that. And this guy took reportedly a stolen vehicle. However, he acquired it and drove 1 hour from Riverside, which is right over those mountains, out here to Yucca Valley. Yucca Valley is in a weird part of Southern California. It's a very desolate area. And basically they're jawing back and forth. And Savage Studio says, hey, you know what? If you want a piece of me, why don't you come through? Come through and handle your business. And, well, Manuel, he got a pistol, jumped into his stolen vehicle, and made the 60-mile odd commute to this very tattoo studio. And Savage probably thought that this guy, if he did show up, was going to just throw fists, throw hands, but he pulled out a gun and shot and killed him right here. This is the tattoo studio where Savage Studios used to work at, and sadly this is the place where he was pronounced dead, right at around 4:40 p.m. right here. After Manuel fired several shots into Savage Studios, he got into his car and he took off. Now, I don't know if this guy knew the area, but Savage Studios definitely told him where he was located. That's the kind of guy Savage Studios was. You could say whatever it is that you want about him, but more than likely you would probably say it behind your keyboard, because most of you guys out there that would kind of hate on him are keyboard warriors. It is what it is. But we all know how Savage Studios rolled, especially when he had a couple beers too many. You know, he started talking, and that's what people loved about him. He would just say all this kinds of crazy things. And so Manuel comes out to this street right here behind me, and he takes off back to Riverside. Now, I don't know if this guy was on a bender, maybe he had too much to drink, maybe he's smoking scante, I have no idea. But he basically goes back to Riverside. However, there's only about 2 or 3 roads that lead out to Riverside. So you could go back over this way, but more than likely the police probably knew that this guy was probably going to San Bernardino or Riverside, Fontana, Rialto, Rancho Cucamonga, whatever that is over there. So they caught him pretty quickly. They pulled him over, did a traffic stop. He gave himself up without any problems, and he was booked into the jail in lieu of, I think it's no bail. I think he has no bail, and from what I know right now, I'm sure he has a court date. I'm not exactly sure when it is. I'll put it on the screen as soon as I find out. But all of this over a social media beef, quite ridiculous. Quite ridiculous. Looking at his Facebook page, Mr. Robledo looks like he has a couple children. I don't know if they're his or maybe they're nieces or nephews. But this guy basically threw his life away to challenge another guy via TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or whatever the platform was that they were jawing back and forth on each other about. So this guy, now he's sitting in jail, and they're probably going to get him for premeditated murder because, you know, he had 1 hour, right? So when you're making that long drive, 1 hour, pass through these mountains right here out to Yucca Valley, you can think about not coming up here. Yeah, okay, Savage Studios is calling you out, calling whichever name in the book you are, come through, come do this, come do that. Now, you could have easily just challenged him to a fist fight. Now, Savage wasn't a guy that I personally would ever want to challenge to a fist fight. He's a pretty big guy, and I probably would decline the offer to have a fist fight with him. But this guy, carrying his gun, knew what he was going to do, and prosecutors, that's what they're going to get him on. They're going to get him on that premeditated murder, and they're not going to offer him any kind of deal. I don't think so, unless it's like 45 years to life or 50 years to life. They're going to throw a gang enhancement on him. He's probably a felon beforehand, so they're going to throw felon, but then again, I don't know, but if he was, they're going to do felon this, felon that, gang enhancement. That guy's never getting out of prison. And well, you can see there are some cameras, so I don't know if the actual murder was caught on camera, but as you can see, there's a camera pointing out to this parking lot, and there's another camera pointing to the door. As a matter of fact, when they open up and they see this video, they'll probably go back to their tape and see me standing in front of their tattoo shop like a weirdo. But this guy had plenty of time to think about his girlfriend, to think about his kids, to think about his life, to say to himself, you know what? Yeah, I'm a gang member, and we all gotta do whatever it is for our gang, do whatever it is that you want to do. But he could have just said, you know what, this is stupid. This is stupid, because we all know how Savage was. When he said to pull up, hey, you either pull up or you don't. That's all there was to it. That's all there was to it. And this guy probably didn't want any problems with Savage, hands on hands. He wanted to bring a gun. And I know a lot of guys, I could already see your comments in the comments below. Gangsters don't fight, they shoot. There's no fair fights. Yeah, I know. That's why I don't deal with gangbangers, because I've never dealt with them as a kid, and I don't deal with them now as an adult. And the only gangbangers I really talk to are the ones that are currently incarcerated in prison, and it is not a life that you guys want to live. It's not a life that you guys want to even be a part of. And then you got a guy, a 33-year-old guy, pretty young guy. Savage Studios was 31 years old, a pretty young guy as well. And one man murdered, and the other one threw his life away for gang clout, for YouTube clout, for TikTok clout, for whatever clout he was wanting to do. As I leave this location, trust and believe, I never thought, Savage Studios said a lot of crazy things. I never thought in my life that this would occur, and I was really wanting to do a collab video with Steven. Let me tell you, let me end the video with this. I didn't know Steven, right? A lot of people knew him as Savage Studios. I knew him somewhat as Savage Studios, but we didn't know who Steven Seagal was. And yeah, he had his issues. Yeah, he had his problems, of course. Many of us do. But I would always tell my friend off of YouTube, like we would talk or whatever, talking with my friend Kale there. And I would always say, this guy is this close to being a 1 million subscriber YouTube channel. He's so close. He had the Savage Studios channel, and then I think either he was thinking about turning it into a family vlog channel. I don't know, but he had a cute little kid. He had a beautiful girlfriend. And I said, this guy can turn his channel from all of the gang talk into a family vlog channel, and they'll get 1 million subscribers. She's attractive. He looks interesting with the hair. Well, until he cut his hair, but he had that long hair with the crazy tattoos. I was like, wow, this guy is gonna do his parole or what have you. He's gonna clean up his image for that channel, maybe keep it raw and real on the other channel, you know, whatever it is that you want to do. And I thought he was going to get 1 million subscribers. And I reached out to Steven on Instagram about me possibly doing some gang vlogs in the future. I was thinking about doing it, still probably going to do it. And I wanted to get his personal opinion, and he reached back out to me. And we conversed back and forth a couple of times. And, you know, when I didn't ask him to do a collab with me when I came back out here, because I wasn't here. But when I was on my way to California, I was going to hit him up and say, hey, man, let's do a video together. I'd love for you to jump on my channel, and we'll do a true crime video, you know, not gang related, but we'll take you out of your element a little bit. Crime's still the element, but it won't be gang related. This guy was a very good storyteller, very well spoken. Let me tell you something. Looks can be deceiving. When you see this guy with the tattoos on his face, you can say like, this guy's a bum. Oh, this guy's this, all this, that. Nah, he was very well spoken for. It actually surprised me when he was telling his stories about that Loquito guy from Baker's, the Selly Nightmare. I actually did a video about him about 2 weeks ago. It'll be out on my channel maybe before this video, but you know, I got that story from him from his Selly Nightmares. And you know, Steven was very, very well spoken. Didn't talk greasy unless he started drinking too much. If he started drinking too much, then he'd talk a little greasy. But for the most part, he came across as a nice guy, as long as you aren't one of his enemies. And I'm a pretty good judge of character. And you know, I figured that this is a guy that I definitely want to work with. And very unfortunate that I'm doing a video about him instead of with him. So very, very heartbreaking for his family and the people out there that loved him and supported him. And you know, for the other guy, for the supposed killer, reported killer, whatever you want to call him. Well, listen, you got what you wanted. You got your clout. Your hood got known. I heard of you guys now for sure. But where's that really going to put you? You're probably going to end up spending pretty much the rest of your life in prison. And eventually, you know, people forget about you. You'll do 20, 30 years in prison. Yeah, your close friends will still write you, but people come, people go. You're gonna be getting pictures of your kids graduating junior high, high school, getting married, having children. Your son's gonna take a picture. Oh, hey, Dad, look at this new car, and that's gonna be your relationship. And yeah, when you go to whatever prison that you're gonna go to, yeah, hey, good job, dude. Yeah, hey, hook them up with a sopa. What? Top ramen for the rest of your life. You'll never have sex with a woman ever again. You'll never be able to smell a woman again. You won't be driving a car ever again. You're gonna have people telling you when to take a shower, when to use the bathroom, and where to go, what to do. What kind of life is that? You know, this message is for anybody out there that whether you're a part of a gang, you're thinking about being a part of a gang, you're hanging out with a gang, let me tell you something. There is no future in gang life or gang activity. You're gonna wind up in 3 places: in prison, in a wheelchair, or dead. That's it. And listen, we all grew up in whatever neighborhoods we grew up in, and we all could make a choice. I understand some of you guys out there, you have a family, your family, they're in a gang. Well, then of course you got to be in a gang. Doesn't always have to work that way. You can choose a different path. If you feel that you're stuck in a situation where, you know, you're with your homeboys and you guys are doing this and doing that, and then you always got to worry about everywhere you go, if someone recognizes you, you could always get out. You could always leave. You might feel that you can't get out of the gang, but you can move. You can set up shop somewhere else. Trust me. Wisconsin has plenty of good jobs that pay 20 bucks an hour, and nobody will know who you are in Wisconsin. You can move to West Virginia, start a new life. I'm serious. This is no way to live your life. Because at the end of the day, gang banging doesn't have 401k. You're only going a few places, and a lot of people out there, they didn't get to live their life. They didn't get to grow old. An early grave is what they got, unfortunately. Very, very sad. Rest in peace to Savage Studios. And, well, I would say to keep it respectful in the comments, but I know some of you guys are not going to care for certain aspects of this case. So just whatever. All I can tell you is this. What if that guy were your brother or your son? Would you want people besmirching his name online? Yeah, he did what he did, and he lived his life the way he wanted to live it, but he's no longer here. So with that, I say live but not live, still alive by the grace of God. Lamont at large, coming to you from Yucca Valley. Be careful out there, guys. At the end of the day, my personal opinion, not worth it. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.